The ZEV OZ9C Hyper Comp that I've got in for a magazine article, but I'm bringing you guys along for some of our experience with it. In this shooting impressions video, you will see our absolute cold shots, first impressions from the gun. We'll give you full magazine plus one. We'll do a multi-mag test to see which Glock compatible mags fit in it. Then we'll do our trademark what's for dinner test. We'll take it to the spinner for sights and trigger control, do some practical accuracy shots, and then give you the impressions from two shooters. Coming up next on GBGuns.
So I have 10 rounds for my cold shots with the OZ9 at the steel that's out there at about 20 feet?
20 yards.
20 yards?
Yeah, reduced size torso out there.
Yards are good. Oh, okay. That black front sight post is not playing nice. Everything else, though, tells me that this is going to be a good day.
What'd you think?
It's like butter. It's just smooth. It's comfy. It's just that black front sight with a little bit of that, the smoke from the ammunition coming back at us, and the bright sun, black background, and all of that. It kind of blended in. So,
yeah, folks,
it's gonna be fun.
This is the Pacific Northwest and it's winter time, so there's our backstop, and there's the sun, which is a little blinding, and you can see in the camera here how dark it makes everything. So
give it 4 hours, it'll be dark again.
To Tia's point, though, it is kind of an argument or a point of note when it comes to blacked out sights. So I got to shoot one of these at my publisher's annual event. That's where I got the assignment for this and why we have this in hand. It's for a magazine article, not for the channel here, but I was pretty impressed and thought you guys might appreciate seeing it as well. It's just very, very flat, thanks to those comps up there. And I know a lot of you in the tabletop were curious about velocity loss, so we do have our chronograph here and we will take a look at that. But man, as a gamer gun, it's just super flat shooting, very comfortable, takes a lot of the recoil out of it. And I know some people didn't understand the chassis system that the ZEV OZ9 has, and that this is, although Glock part compatible, not a Glock clone at all. It's a whole nother realm of pistol. It shoots, it doesn't feel anything like a Glock whatsoever. The 10 round mags that come with it, because ZEV is in Washington State, that's what they're limited to. Not my favorite to load. This is the P-Mag that's got the limiter in it, and it's not fun. So we'll also be doing our multi-mag test to see what other mags it runs, and hopefully those are a little more fun to shoot. Speaking of magazines, we've got a variety here of aftermarket. That's one of the things that people like about Glocks and Glock pattern guns. The irony is, part of that weird grip angle and feel that people don't like about Glocks is because of the magazines. So you got to build a gun around the magazines. Anyways, we'll run quite a few through. We got 3 rounds of just PMC bronze, looking for cycle. How does it feed on the way in, like magazine into the body? I'll comment on that. For example, this torque mag has a little bit of friction.
Sounds great.
But is dropping out. Does it run 3 shots, and then does it drop free? So first up, the torque mag. No cycling issues. And Gen 4 Glock magazine. Hopefully you guys can hear the difference there. That was smoother. No issues. This one is a Pro Mag. Always exciting to try the Pro Mags. In and out pretty easily. And it ran and dropped. A Glock Gen 3 or 4 with a factory +2 on it. Doesn't want to drop out as well. But otherwise decent. Ultimag. This has texture on it and all kinds of fanciness to it. But it's a little grippy on the way in. It's a little broad. Does not drop free. In fact, you got to really pull on it to get it out. X-Tar, these are pretty cool. 18 rounders, very affordable. In and out, pretty nice. Runs and drops. KCI USA. Also good in and out. No issues there. And AC Unity out of Europe. Fits pretty good. So no issues there. I think it's safe to say that all of these save. I think we'll pull the Pro Mag out during What's for Dinner just because we don't want any chances to be a Pro Mag failure. However, the good news is the OZ9 runs on a variety of different magazines. It's that time again, What's for Dinner time. Thanks to Ammo Squared of some viewer contributions, True Shot Gun Club, and our patrons. We've got 10 different loads. Our lightest here at 65 grain. We're going up to 165 grain today. And as I go by them, you'll see they all have different projectile shapes, overall loaded lengths. The ogive, that's the curve that meets the bore diameter, is in a different spot on each of these. We've got different case material. We're looking to see, does the gun feed it from slide lock? Is there enough energy to cycle and pick up another round of the same type? And does it lock open when empty? 3 shots tells us that. Anything past that's testing the magazine, which really costs too much time and money. So this is what we got.
For What's for Dinner, we're starting off with a 65 grain from Liberty Ammunitions. This is the Silver Trainer lead-free non-toxic primer, ultralight recoil. We'll see about that. Simple one.
Curious to see if we get lots of flash from those ports. Gun stayed so flat. Come on, focus.
At circle number 2, we have ARX Inceptor. This is, I just saw it, the grain weight. I'm struggling today. 65 grain also. I like the copper color bullets. Sometimes they smell nice.
Gun did not move.
But somehow I threw one. So one of our viewers sent this in. This is Underwood Ammunition. This is the 68 grain Extreme Defender.
Interesting projectile weight. And it's a plus P load, I believe. Nickel plated case. This is one of those solid copper screwdriver tip bits.
Circle 3.
It's loud. Oh, we had a choke.
Very pleasant though.
Really?
Yes.
For as loud as that was.
And I don't know if you're going to be able to get...
So we were just taking a look, and there is a little copper marking on the feed ramp that we're probably not going to be able to get with the camera. That's a pretty close angle to it though. Not sure if it was the round or the magazine, because that was a torque mag, which is not a factory normal magazine per se. However, we did just prove the torque mag worked fine with 115 grain, so it's quite possible that the Underwood 68 grain is not a good idea for this gun.
And for circle number 4, we have Centerfire Next Generation 100 grain. I don't know why. This is a lead-free ball ammunition.
That's why.
I'll run these all day.
Man, the gun is so flat.
I'm curious why they presented that way, though.
I wonder if maybe you're having an issue with the all black sights.
It is giving me some trouble. Not good. And for circle number 5, we have Blazer's 115 grain aluminum cased ammunition.
We use aluminum and steel case ammunition in these tests because, well, they're available for less because the materials cost less. However, aluminum and steel expand and contract at a different rate than brass does. They also have a different friction coefficient within the chamber. And so as a result, they don't always feed or extract as well as brass and can choke some guns.
Circle number 5. I don't always like shooting those, but they were very pleasant out of this. Heavy on the very.
Nice group.
Thank you.
Moving on to circle 6 from Bellum in Serbia. This is 124 grain ammunition. T and I used this stuff in a course and found it to be rather enjoyable to shoot and clean shooting. Let's see how it groups out of the Zev. You know, this recoil is so soft. Smells like old barbecue. Recoil out of this is so soft, it kind of encourages you to shoot faster.
It does. And the trigger's so nice.
It is. Circle 7 from ZQI ammunition. This is the all the things ammo. It's 124 grain, nickel plated steel case, brass jacketed ball ammo. One of the mags that doesn't like to slide in quite so smoothly. Whew, this has a little more recoil to it. Like a NATO load. Seems to be throwing brass right at Tia.
How'd you guess?
This is the Ultimag, that's why it didn't slide in so well. Circle number 8 is Federal's Syntec Training Match 124 grain. This has the purple synthetic jacket on a snubby bullet. And that can happen with snubby bullets. The mag is all the way in. I will reset this magazine and we'll give it one more try. Make sure the bullet is still the same overall length. It is.
So it seemed like that mag wasn't up high enough at first.
Might have been. This is the PMag that comes with the gun. It felt like it was in. It might not have been in all the way. We'll find out if it cycles. That was loud. No cycling issues once we got it going. So that was just a false mag lock.
Mag feed.
Moving up to 135 grain is Hornady's Critical Duty with the Flex Lock. This is a nickel plated case and little pointy angry teeth on it. Very soft shooting in this gun. That's impressive. Normally this is not a fun round to shoot. And thanks to these ports, shot great. Smells a little like cinnamon.
I'm not getting any of the nose profiles
it's
today.
Christmassy smelling. And our last load for Circle 10 is the Ammo Inc. Stealth from True Shot Gun Club. 165 grain TMC, making this 100 grains heavier than our lightest load of the day. For Circle 10. So stupid soft. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. And it smells a little bit like real made potato chips, you know, like when you home fry them. Next is traditionally the spinner test, But something I'm curious about, and I know you guys are curious about too, is with these ports here, are we losing a lot of velocity? Does that mean we're losing energy out of this 4-inch too? So we're gonna chrono 5 rounds of the PMC Bronze. Why that? Well, because over on GBGunsDepot.com, we've already got the chrono results of that ammunition through several barrel lengths, including a standard 4-inch. So we'll be able to compare the numbers we get coming up in that test against how that stuff does in other common barrels. So we're about the requisite 10 feet away from this chronograph using the PMC Bronze 115 grain, and our chronograph's been bumped a few times, so sometimes it thinks it reads meters even though we tell it to do feet. Don't worry, feet. Don't worry, I'll calculate it all for you. Go ahead, Dia. 322, 315, 315, 312, 307. So those are all meters per second. I'll calculate it, and somewhere on the screen you should magically get the real answer. This is our 6-inch Titan Grid Outdoors spinner target, and we are about 12 yards away. We use this to judge sights and trigger control, or the learnability thereof. As you hit this thing, it starts moving. The more you hit it, the faster it moves, the more important timing a well-placed shot becomes. That's where it comes in with sights and trigger control. So yeah, that was probably the quickest that I've seen you engage that.
Because like you said, the gun makes you want to shoot. Like, it's that much fun to shoot. There's no discomfort that had me wincing or anticipating how to overcome, say, trigger slap, which, you know, we don't get. So yeah, I was just anxious to shoot. And it was staying flat. The red target with the front sight worked much better than shooting a black front sight. The trigger is right there. Like, I could do it. I know I could do it.
All right, and my turn. We are still using the PMC Bronze 115 grain, so the exact energy you saw us calculate is what we're delivering. Odd. I don't think the spinner was quite straight on to us. Seemed like it was a bit of an angle. Anyways, as far as the gun's concerned, the reset on this trigger is excellent. That made it very easy. Between the slight double undercut and all of the gripping shape and form, it's really easy to hold on to this thing. That compensator most definitely works at keeping it flat. I was concerned about the blacked out front sight, but having a red target helped with contrast. Yeah, this thing's just, it really encourages you to shoot faster.
It makes it doable.
Yeah, it's, I don't want to call it a cheat or a help. It's a help, but it's, I think this helps you realize your potential as a shooter by eliminating a lot of the unpleasantries that you would otherwise experience on your standard 9mm. I don't know. Let's see how it groups next.
So for our accuracy test, we're shooting 5 shots from about 7 yards using Nosler's Assured Stopping Power. This is 115 grain jacketed hollow point, and I'll aim at the left circle square.
And folks, a 1-inch square from 7 yards.
That's not good.
Oh, it did not want to feed.
Not at all.
Oh, in an ugly way, too. Zoom in there. Hold on. Can you tilt the gun back towards you a little more? That's nasty. Let's try that again. So what you're looking at, folks, is a nasty misfeed. Nozzler match ammo is good ammo. Haven't ever had an experience like this, but you can see the casing got kind of sheared back there, and then the projectile looks like it got stuck on the way out. Had to use a rod to push it out. And what Tia's holding in her hand is the magazine that this was in. It was a Glock factory magazine, so can't blame it on the mag for bad feeding. We'll give it another try. It might have been a bad round. It could just be that this feed ramp geometry doesn't like the nozzler. We'll give it a try. Okay, so that one loaded.
Fine.
Okay. Sorry, folks, I had the camera off right as she inserted, but look at it.
I'm grateful that the sun went away.
Also be using the Nozzler ASP 115 grain for 5 shots from 7 yards. And in case we have a feed issue, this is a KCI USA mag. So far,
Did you hear the ting?
Yeah. On the right circle square. This is actually kind of tough. That black front sight post is the exact same size as that square, but I can't see any transition off it. Now my eyeball won't focus on it. I think this is definitely meant to be a red dot gun. And I'm willing to bet the folks who can afford to buy one of these also buy red dots.
So the OZ9, Zev definitely did a fantastic job of making a pleasant shooting experience. My only gripe is that front sight, and it works in some applications, but not in all. So I would want, sorry, bumped the mic. I would want something a little bit different on the front so that I could be consistently on my front sight post. The grip texture is nice. I do like that these are concaved a little bit. And I'm thinking that those are positive in a training environment when your hands get a little bit sweaty, and it'll cause some of that suction is what I'm thinking that was the intent there. It's a great gun.
And on
so fun to shoot.
On the sight thing, I believe, and I'm remembering years ago when I tested a ported barrel in a Glock 34, and the problems I had was the ports fried my very expensive tritium sights because you've got fire shooting up through those holes. And so, I mean, we can see...
it does show that there is some catching there.
Yeah, so that they had to go black to keep it safe and keep it alive. It is an optics ready gun, and since this is kind of a gamer gun, maybe this would really be done best with the red dot on it.
Are these metal?
Yes.
So there's bright metal under it, correct?
Yeah, maybe, until it burns. I mean...
Yeah. So I had an afterthought while Graham was explaining the front sights and all of that. It was hard to see the window on both sides, especially if there was any of that smoke from the ports coming back. That's where that front sight was difficult.
And we're in less than optimal weather for this as well. Being in the Northwest in wintertime with the sun in front of us and it being cold enough and damp enough for lots of smoke to blow around. The wind has been bringing it towards us with each shot, so that means covering up the front of the gun. All that out of the way, this is an ingenious design, as you guys saw on the tabletop, of porting the barrel and cutting away the slide to, one, make sure that those ports are tall and have the little chimneys, if you will, but it also reduces the reciprocating mass of the slide. So you've got a lighter slide cycling on lighter recoil and a lot of force pushing down to keep the gun flat. And then with the OZ9, because this is a metal chassis, this front part of the gun out here is metal and all connected back in through the rest of it. It doesn't feel nose heavy, but there is nose weight that an all polymer gun wouldn't have. And those things combined make for something that hopefully our frame rate was high enough so you guys see truly, since we don't use DSLRs that can kind of skip action and sometimes make things look inappropriate, how flat this gun stays in your hand when you're shooting. And that's really cool. That combined with a very crisp trigger with a nice, it keeps all the positives of a Glock reset, but gets rid of a lot of the mush and nastiness of a regular Glock trigger. A better grip angle, better grip texture, just overall comfortable performance gun. We're still at the range, so I haven't crunched the numbers yet on the velocity there, but it seemed to me, in trying to put meters into feet in my head, that we didn't lose that much speed, which is surprising considering, I mean, the round starts here and is only moving that far before it starts to lose some of the speed that it would normally get in a full 4-inch barrel. However, it's of course better than it being a 1-inch barrel because there's still some barrel there.
Something else I'm noticing while you hold that, not that way, so I can see the trigger guard. It seems like it's designed in a way that allows more room under there to get your secondary grip.
Oh yeah.
I haven't noticed that before. It's got a little forward slant to it. I like it. It's a nice profile.
Yeah, it really, I was probably like some of you when they first saw this and thought, wow, for that price, if I wanted Glocks, I could get a few of them. It's not the same thing. No. This is not a Glock clone. It might be Glock based and accept Glock parts, but a Ferrari and a Pinto are both cars. That doesn't mean that you can get 5 Pintos instead of, or 50 Pintos instead of a Ferrari and call it good. This is a different class, folks. Thanks for watching.